Okay, hi everybody. My name is Ari,
My name's Andrew.
and welcome to our video chat. So we're just going to introduce each other or ourselves. I'm not going to introduce Andrew for him. He can do that for himself. He's a big boy. But and then we are going to answer your questions. So just a little bit about me. Like I said, my name's Ari. I'm a third year from Los Angeles, California. I'm a history major, and some things that I'm involved in on campus include UCLA campus tours, the Pediatric AIDS Coalition, which puts on our annual dance marathon every year, UCLA Radio, student government, also known as USAC, and the Alumni Scholars Club, which helps connect current UCLA students with previous UCLA students. And I also get scholarship money for doing that.
Great. My name's Andrew. I am a fourth year. I'm majoring in psychobiology, and I'm from Mission Viejo, California. I'm also involved in the Pediatric AIDS Coalition, was also involved in student government my first 2 years as well. I'm involved in two camps, Camp Kesem and Camp Kindle. Camp Kindle is a camp for kids who are infected or affected by HIV/AIDS, and Camp Kesem is a camp for kids whose parents have or have had cancer.
Yeah, so we're pretty involved on campus. Obviously, we love the school so much, and so I guess we're going to start taking questions.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with Alexis Brown's question. How do I find out if the college credits that I have received taking classes at my local community college during my senior year will transfer to UCLA? Thanks, Alexis. That's a good question. When you are enrolled at UCLA, you have something called your degree progress report or your DPR, and your DPR will show what credits not only you completed at UCLA, but also the credits that you completed at community college courses, through community college courses. And so if you look at that, it just basically says your GPA, what classes you've taken, and what requirements they satisfy.
Yeah, so when you apply in, you'll list your whatever classes you take in high school as well as in community college, and then once you get in, you'll submit official transcripts for both high school and community college, and then you'll get credits for that.
That goes for your AP courses as well. Not all of them, but some of them. Okay, cool.
And then the next question we get is from what is
Yep.
the dorming experience like?
That's from Van. Thanks.
So the dorms are awesome here at UCLA. About 95% of our freshmen live in the dorms, so it's definitely not like a commuter school. A lot of freshmen choose to live in our dorms. And our dorm environment is pretty unique because it's collectively called the Hill. All of your dorms are going to be in the same place on campus as opposed to spread out throughout the university or integrated into the city. But we have renovated all of our dorms. We have three different living styles. We have residential halls, plazas, and suites. So depending on if you want your own bathroom, if you want air conditioning, if you want a living room, you can choose the housing option that best fits your need. But it's definitely a very great experience. Again, most of our freshmen choose to live on the Hill, and we do have the best housing guarantee among all the public universities. You're guaranteed housing for at least 3 years. So a lot of people
to make it 4 though.
Yeah, so by the time you get here, it should be 4. And the food is awesome. We've been ranked as the #2 food in the nation.
Stop it, I'm hungry.
Yeah, they just opened, or they're opening a full-time restaurant that's healthy Californian organic eating. So if you're looking to eat healthy.
Yeah, they have one that's entirely Asian food. They have, if you just want pizza, that is readily
Still
available.
available, yeah.
Readily
time,
available all the time. Yeah, living on the Hill is just fun. Your friends are never more than a 3-minute, 30-second even walk away.
All right, and then another question from Van is, what do you like most about UCLA and what do you like least about UCLA?
Can I go first?
Yeah.
Okay. What I like most about UCLA definitely are the people. Obviously, we are a world-class academic institution. We're one of the best universities in the entire world. We were recently ranked the #8 university in the entire world. So that's pretty impressive. There are obviously lots of universities you can choose to go to. So without a doubt, you're getting an amazing education. But if you only graduate from UCLA with a degree, then in my opinion, you didn't really do it right. You're going to graduate with so many. Thanks, Andrew. Graduate with a degree, but also amazing memories, incredible friends who are so smart and encourage you to be the best version of yourself, but also you can have a load of fun with. Oh, my least favorite thing? I mean, apart from the parking, which can be kind of crappy sometimes. As a freshman, there are just like so many opportunities, and so it's kind of hard to channel in on exactly what you want to do and find things that you want to be involved in. But once you do, the university itself becomes way more navigable. So that was a little bit of a speed bump in my own personal experience, just because there are so many people and so many things to do here. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. You have lots of opportunities. I'm done, Andrew. You want to go?
Mine is pretty much the same as Ari's. There's not too much to complain about at school. I think my thing that I like least is that college has to end. Because I just started my 4th year, and it's so scary to imagine that you are just finished your first day of school. But that's kind of the environment we have here at UCLA, is that everyone that goes here really, really loves this university. So it's something that you never want to leave, but unfortunately you have to.
Sometimes. Well, I mean, like you can just say.
Or I can apply to grad school.
Yeah, or you can.
Can't afford a 5th year. But.
Okay. And then we have one from Alexis. Ooh, what's campus life like at UCLA? What are some events that students get excited about or love to participate in? I think Andrew can talk about that.
So I'll talk about campus life and events. Campus life is incredible. Here at UCLA, we have over 28,000 undergraduates now and over 1,000 different student groups. So when you walk on Bruin Walk, which is our main central walkway on campus every day, you'll see thousands, well, it seems like thousands,
it's
but hundreds
It's
of
a lot
people telling you about all the different things that they have going on. So every night there's something going on. There's a new art performance, a new art exhibition, a new band playing. But there's always stuff going on here at UCLA. But the big events that I personally get excited about, first off, would have to be Dance Marathon, which we're both involved in. It's a 26-hour dance-a-thon where you can't sit or sleep the entire time, and you raise money and awareness for the fight against pediatric AIDS. Last year, almost 1,000 UCLA students stood for the entire time, so we raised over $475,000, which is pretty incredible. Then one other one is Spring Sing. So Spring Sing is UCLA's greatest musical tradition. It's held every year in Pauley Pavilion, which is our big basketball stadium that just got renovated. But I think like 8,000 students went last year, and previous winners of Spring Sing include Sarah Bareilles and Maroon 5, so it's kind of cool to see which of your UCLA peers is going to be the next big musical star.
Another really cool music event we have on campus that just happened is Bruin Bash. And Bruin Bash is the like welcome back concert, I guess. It happens every year, the Sunday before school starts. And this past year we had Tyga and E40, so that was
a little crazy.
That was really fun. It was so fun. But there are always really amazing performers coming to campus throughout the year, not just for Bruin Bash. But like Andrew said, we have Spring Sing, where there are student performers who are just so talented and incredible. But we also have performers like last year, Kendrick Lamar came, A$AP Rocky, Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, a bunch of like other smaller bands that are, but still pretty well-known bands come to campus all the time. And so I love that. Cool. Thanks, Alexis.
Okay. Next question.
Van.
Advice for writing the personal statement that stands out. Personal statement for UCLA is pretty important because they are looking for you to be a very well-rounded applicant. We like to say that all of the parts of the application are very, very important. It's not just academics or your test scores or any of that. But as far as writing a personal statement that stands out, really think of what uniquely applies to you that other people might not be writing about, and make sure that if you're writing about an experience or a person that has affected you, that you connect it back to yourself. A mistake a lot of people make is that they write about their grandmother who's so awesome, did all these great things, and then they don't talk about
you want to accept the grandma, not them.
Yeah, so you can write about anything. The prompts are online. I think the UC app opened today.
Yeah, it came out today. So if you guys want to get a head start on the UC application, it became available today, and it is available all the way through November 30th. You can't start submitting it until November 1st, however. But if you want to get a head start, then
yeah, prompts are online. But you can write about anything. We had a fellow who wrote about the world of words that she came from and how that inspired her writing. Jen. And then we had, who was the one that wrote about the Gilroy Garlic Boy? One of our tour guide was the Gilroy Garlic Boy and the Gilroy Garlic Festival, and he wrote about how being the mascot for that festival shaped his perspective on the world. Wow. So you can write about anything.
I know. I don't know this person personally, but I think it was another tour guide who wrote. His friend wrote about just how much he hated Canadian geese. for his personal statement, and he got in. And so, basically, just something you're really passionate about that you can write well about, and that is, personal to you, not just something you think that the readers want to see.
Yep.
Oh,
you go.
okay,
You go.
cool.
I think the next one's about psychobio.
Is it?
How hard?
Oh.
So next question is from Dominique, who asks, how hard is psychobiology? Psychobiology is actually part of the psych department, but it's a mixture of psychology and biology, as the name suggests. But you'll start off taking all of your basic life science prereqs, so a year of life sciences, a year of or 2 years of chemistry, unfortunately, a year of math, a year of physics. But those are the basic prereqs you need to apply to med school. So if you're looking at any life science major, psychobiology is a really cool field. I've taken classes where it's like psychology of aging and then you take biology of aging, so it's kind of interesting to see both perspectives. It is pretty challenging because there's a lot of science courses and there's a lot of midterms and finals and stuff, but if you study hard, you'll definitely do well here at UCLA.
It's an example of one of our interdisciplinary programs, of which UCLA has many. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, that was from Dominique. Thanks, Dominique. Okay, Zachary wants to know, hello, I'm extremely interested in architecture. You know anything about that major? Yeah. So UCLA has several undergraduate schools. The most common one that people tend to apply to is the College of Letters and Science, and that has our 125 majors, 80 minors. So typically something that you're going to be interested, like psychobio or like history in my case, that's going to fall underneath that umbrella. But if you're interested in, for example, architecture, we have the Undergraduate School of Arts and Architecture. It's a slightly different application process. It's similar. It's the same app, but you might have to do another personal statement, I believe, why specifically you want to go into architecture. And there might be a couple of other deadlines on top of the application. I know specifically with like the School of Theater, Film, and Television and the School of Music, there are other deadlines for like auditions and portfolios that are due. So it's entirely possible that that's the case for architecture as well. Yep. I think it is for us architecture. But we also have like clubs and student organizations that are geared towards people who are interested in becoming architects. And then we also have our Graduate School of Architecture that you can pursue after you graduate.
Cool. And Dominique has another question that asks, what is the typical freshman applicant profile? So UCLA does pride itself on its diversity, so we don't necessarily have a typical profile. There are people applying from all over the world, almost every, I'm sure, probably like every country in the world. But there's no typical applicant profile. If you want fresh like statistics, we can definitely give you that.
Like average GPA is 4.3.
4.3,
weighted
4.4,
yeah. And then unweighted it's 3 point no, not 8 point, it's 3.8
to 3.9 yeah so
there you go. But once again, that's an average, so there are people above that, there are people below that, so I mean, yeah, I'm sure that like my experience applying to UCLA and like what I had to offer on my application was very different from what Andrew had to offer. So just, you know, do your best in school and participate in extracurricular activities, and you'll be a successful applicant.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So Ashley asks about APs, and she says, I saw the advanced placement section for the College of Letters and Sciences says that AP credit will not count toward general requirements. If I majored in something in the biological sciences, would that mean that all my AP credit would count as elective credit? So that's a very interesting question that a lot of people have. I'm a bio kind of field major, so definitely can relate to you. So if you take AP Bio, for example, you'll get 8 unassigned life sciences units, but that won't count for any of your life science requirements. What that means is that if anything required for your major, they want you to take here at UCLA, so AP credits won't count for that. You'll still get those 8 AP units, and that'll count toward your total unit cap, which is always helpful, but it won't waive that requirement. But other classes will waive requirements. So, for example, if you get in 5 on your AP calculus test, you'll pass out of the first math class, so you get to skip the first math class, which is nice.
A 5 on AP and a 4 on BC, I think it is. And then also AP language as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So like AP English will get you out of your your
writing
first writing requirement. I passed it. I didn't have to do one of the history classes because I did AP history, so it'll definitely help you. It's just anything for your major you'll have to do here at UCLA.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same for like every school.
Yeah, I mean, people are becoming a lot more stringent about that. Okay. Greek life. I can talk about Greek life, Dominique. So Greek life is now 16% of UCLA. And for any of you guys wondering what Greek life is exactly, Greek life are our Panhellenic sororities and fraternities. So those are social groups that consist of, all guys in a fraternity and then all girls in a sorority. And so, like I said, we're 16% Greek. And so you can look at that one of two, like either one of two ways. 16% of 27,000 students is like a fair amount of people. There are like thousands of people involved in the system. But then again, there's also another 82% of our student body population that's not involved in Greek life. So if that's not something that you're interested in being involved in, then you don't have to be. But it is a really great way to meet people on campus. It makes the community much, much smaller. Because, like I said, it's 16% of the campus. You have social events specifically with other Greek organizations. And so you get to know people really quickly and you automatically have a support system. It's also great for networking opportunities. And it's just a lot of fun. It's where most of like the social scene that I would say that I'm involved in, I'm sure that Andrew's also involved in, that's like really what it revolves around. So if you're interested in checking it out, you can go through Rush, and Rush is just when you go talk to the people in the houses, you go actually see the physical houses. Greek housing is absolutely incredible. It's probably one of the least expensive ways to live near campus, and also you get food, you get friends in the houses. Specifically, the sorority houses are so nice. Yeah. So Rush, go check it out. If it's not free, you don't have to join, but if you think there's a possibility that you might want to be in a sorority or fraternity, I would recommend that you go check it out.
All right, and then we got a question about admissions. So it says, concerning admissions, how important are standardized test scores? So when you apply to UCLA, you'll be submitting either your SAT or your ACT with writing. You can also submit your AP and IB scores if you have any, as well as any SAT-2 subject test scores. SAT-2 subject tests aren't required, so you don't have to submit them, but if you did really well, you can definitely submit them as supplemental scores. They're pretty important. They're part of that test score bracket. That's a third of the application. Again, it is a holistic review process, so we're looking at your GPA, your test scores, your extracurriculars, and your personal statement all together. So they're definitely a very important part of it, but not a make or break kind of point in the application.
Yeah, definitely. But study for your standardized tests. Yes. Prepare for them, please. Okay. So, is it difficult to major in a specific area? I don't know like which area you're interested in, but we have 125 majors and 80 minors. That really allows you to customize your academic experience for something that interests you. I mean, the cutoff point for most majors is around like a 2.5, or if it's a really competitive major, maybe a 3.0. But hopefully, if you're majoring something, you're interested in it, it's something that you're sort of really committed to, and you won't have that much of an issue getting above a 2.5. But you don't have to apply to most majors. There are a couple that you do as an incoming freshman, like communications. That's a competitive major that you have to apply to. But apart from that, in the College of Letters and Sciences, you don't have to apply to your major. You just have to sort of declare it. But if you're applying as a transfer student, you apply directly into a specific major, and that definitely affects like your admissions decision, because some majors are more applied to than others at the transfer level. So you just have to keep that in mind when you're applying for transfer.
Cool. And the next question is it hard to transfer from transition from a semester system into the quarter system here at UCLA? So it definitely will take some getting used to, so I'd recommend if you come to a quarter system, take a light load your first quarter here, because the quarter system is pretty fast-paced. Quarter systems are 10 weeks long as opposed to 15 or 16 weeks on the semester system. So that means when you start school, you'll be in 0 or first week, and then by the time you hit third week, you could start having midterms. Sometimes midterms go all the way up to 9th week, so you'll be tested all through that period.
If you're a science major, I don't do that.
I've had quarters where it's like 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. Yeah.
Oh my god.
But usually you'll have like 5th week will be like the big.
Yeah, 5th week, pretty much everybody has midterms, and then finals week, everybody has finals. But depending on what the structure of your specific classes. You might have more papers or more, midterms, like multiple sets of
Yeah.
midterms. But if you think that I mean, being in the quarter system, like Andrew said, is really fast paced. So you just kind of have to stay on top of your work, go to class. If you procrastinate for a couple weeks,
You're out.
then you have like midterms like creeping up on you. So
Yeah.
it's not like a semester system where you can just sort of like hang out and not do the reading for a few weeks and then expect to be okay by like seventh or eighth week when you have midterms. No, like
I'll have had like 2 midterms by
yeah,
then, so
exactly. So it's important to go to class, learn time management, and the quarter system like works really well for me.
yeah. As far as like
Yeah.
material, it's the same material just spread out. Like I know the chem series like has 4 classes versus 6 classes here, so it's the same material, but just it's broken up differently.
Yeah. So yeah, such a difficult. Okay. So from Alexis, were you offered much financial aid or many scholarships? I can.
Yeah, as far as scholarships that I got, I applied for mostly local ones. So I applied for like my local activities board, my local community service board. That's what we usually tell people to look for when they're looking for merit-based scholarships, is to look locally. And then UCLA does have some UCLA-specific scholarships. So there's a Regent Scholarship, which is offered automatically based on the application you submit. There's the Blue and Gold Scholarship, which is based on financial need. And then you can talk about alumni scholarship.
Yeah. And then I mentioned that I was in the Alumni Scholars Club. And so after I applied to UCLA, but I believe before I found out I was accepted, yeah, I was just doing research on scholarships that UCLA offered. And I found one through the Alumni Association. And so it's when UCLA alums give money specifically for eligible, UCLA students. And so I had to write like 2 essays, submit my GPA, and then, yeah, so it wasn't until after I got into UCLA that I found out that I received the scholarship as well. And in order to maintain my scholarship, I have to be in good academic standing, so be above like a 3.0 every year, and then also do 30 hours of community service every quarter. So it's really not a huge deal to receive a fair amount of money every quarter. But in Alumni Scholars, there's something called state finals where you go and you sort of compete to get more money than just the bare minimum through writing essays and interviews with UCLA alums. And so you have the potential to get, thousands and thousands of dollars through that. So just research on your own. You're going to have to fill out the FAFSA, and so that'll offer you some, loans or work study programs that you can participate in.
Yep.
Yay.
Ooh. Why did you choose UCLA? Well,
Excellent question.
yes, we get this a lot on our
Yeah.
tours. We actually closed by telling people why we
Yeah.
chose UCLA. But I chose UCLA kind of to mirror what Ari said a little bit earlier because of the people that go here. If you get a chance, definitely come and visit our campus. And right when you step foot, you'll see that everyone that goes here really loves this university and is invested in something beyond just their academics. Nobody's here just to study for 4 years and get their degree. If you talk to anyone around you, they'll be involved in research, they'll be involved in something that they're passionate about, they'll start their own student group. Everyone's doing incredible stuff, and it's just so awesome to be a part of an environment where everyone is in love with their school and wants to share their passions with you. So that's why I chose UCLA, because that's what I felt when I was on campus. But definitely everyone will feel different things when they're on campus. So
definitely. Just I would encourage all of you to go to the campus before you commit. And once you feel a connection with the school, with how the campus looks, with the professors that you might meet, with university employees, especially with the students, just make sure that you're able to see yourself calling this place home for the next 4 years and finding people that you feel comfortable and confident that can help you make that home. Cool. Do you want to do that one from Daisy? I don't understand what you're saying.
We got a question from Daisy asking about PA programs. Are you asking about physician's assistant? That's actually a grad program, so you can prepare yourself to apply for PA school while you're here at UCLA. So it's pretty similar to the prereqs for med school, where you have to do all those life sciences courses, plus you have to add on like social courses and all that kind of stuff. But we don't have a direct program that goes right into PA school.
Okay. How selective is UCLA's engineering program? So we have an undergraduate school of engineering that has disciplines ranging from mechanical engineering to computer science to civil engineering, and it's pretty selective. I would say the acceptance rate is lower than just for the
Mm-hmm.
College of Letters and Science, and that's simply because it is a rigorous course founded in math and science. And so when you apply to the undergraduate school of engineering, you're going to have to submit SAT 2 subject tests, one in Math 2, and then another one in either like biochem, physics, and do relatively well in those and just show basic strength in math and science.
Great. And then I got a question that says, I heard that if you apply in as a freshman but do not accept the offer or do not get in, you cannot transfer in later. Is this true? Definitely not true. You can apply in. We only take junior level transfers, so if you apply, you have to have at least 60 semester units or 90 quarter units before you're eligible to apply back into UCLA. But you can definitely apply again. Turn to this one.
Yeah. Okay. So from Brandon, he asks, is it hard to commute around the area? Is public transportation convenient? Okay. So definitely. The area, our college town that UCLA is located in is called Westwood, and Westwood, in and of itself, is like a great location through and through. It has everything from like coffee shops to movie theaters. Not only just like places where you can go see the movies. The movie theaters in Westwoods are the ones that most movies have their premieres in, where all the actors come and the whole red carpet thing. And so sometimes it's a little difficult when I'm trying to go get to the boba shop that's right next door to the movie theater. But like it's cool because you get to see like a bunch of celebrities walking the red carpet like a couple blocks away from your school. There are, great, delicious restaurants and like fun places to go in Westwood. But then we also have our Blue Bus system that takes you to Santa Monica. So that's where you can go to the beach. You can go to Venice Boardwalk. You can go to the Getty Museum, which is one of the best museums in the entire country, and it's located just across the 405 from us. And so it's very easy to get around, and particularly as you get older, you're gonna have friends who have cars, and so if you don't bring your car, one of your friends will. You can just get them to drive you to the airport or to the beach or wherever you need to go.
Great. And then we also got a question from Brandon saying, are there recreational activities that are open to students here at UCLA? So we have a branch of UCLA called UCLA Recreation that's in charge of all recreational-based activities. They have a bunch of stuff all over campus. So there's how many pools on campus? 6 pools on campus alone. We have something called Sunset Recreational Center, which is right by where all the dorms are, that has Olympic-sized pools, sand volleyball courts, a huge lawn where everyone hangs out during spring quarter.
Yeah, it gets popping during spring. Like that's the place to be.
Real popular place to be. And then we have on campus and soon to be in the dorms, we have gyms. So they have your typical gym facilities, but the one on campus also has a 3-story rock climbing wall, squash and racquetball courts, basketball and volleyball courts. On the note of basketball courts, we have some pretty famous basketball courts that have been rated as the #1 place to play pickup basketball. Adam Sandler is known to play on those courts. We also have when the Lakers and the Clippers have away teams that come and practice, they usually practice on our basketball court. So if you're into seeing sports celebrities, this is the school to go.
Yeah, this is a good place to be. We also have intramural fields where our D1 varsity athletes practice, but also it's where we have our club sports and intramural sports. So if you're interested in like playing sports, maybe you played sports in high school. I definitely did. Am I going to play at the college level? Absolutely not. But I still like being active, and so they have sports like intramural. Like soccer, which is really popular, intramural basketball, intramural intertube water polo if you want to play water polo but you don't want to swim. So there are lots of opportunities to be active on campus. UCLA is rated by Newsweek as the most in shape campus in the entire country.
We have a lot of stairs on campus, so when you come here, you'll be walking a lot. So if you look around campus, you'll see that everyone has pretty nice calves.
Yeah.
So in shape definitely does make sense.
Is there an MUN club, so a Model United Nations club? That's from Liam. Yes, there is. There's a tour guide 2 years ago who was actually the president of MUN, and so
we share the Pediatric AIDS Coalition.
Oh, right, we do. We absolutely do.
They put on a huge conference the first week of spring quarter. So they're definitely a big group on
Yeah, and you
campus.
can try out to be on their travel team, and they go, to
Yeah, I
Europe,
think they
to
went to China.
Canada, to China. Like
So
it's really competitive, super fun. They're also a really social group. They hang out with each other a lot too, so that should be fun. Okay.
cool. All right, so Zachary asks, he says, LA seems to be a very busy city. Is the school in a busy section of the city, or is it more peaceful, so to say? So we like to say that UCLA is in a bubble within the huge city of LA. We're in between what we call the three Bs, so Beverly Hills, Bel Air, and Brentwood. So surrounding it is going to be a pretty peaceful area. You can do like runs to the Playboy Mansion if you want, but you're surrounded pretty much by mansions and a very as a recreational activity. But you're surrounded by a pretty calm suburban area, but you're 6 miles from Santa Monica and 30 minutes from downtown LA. So
Yeah.
you get access to all of the great things of LA without being in kind of the hustle and bustle of the city.
Yeah, Westwood's very family friendly. I grew up in LA, and Westwood was somewhere that I used to go to to dinner with my parents. So it's not like some crazy college town. It's not like it's not like Hollywood or anything where there are like transients roaming the street. It's like it's like really nice. But if you want that hustle and bustle of the city, definitely available.
It's super close.
Beep. Okay, Kyle wants to know, do you have any difficulty getting into your classes? Alex, so I personally have never had any issues getting any of the classes that I've needed to fulfill a requirement. So at UCLA, you're never going to have an issue getting getting the class that you need. Sometimes you might not get the class that you want per se, that might fulfill a requirement. So for example, I had a science general education requirement to fulfill, and in order to fulfill it, I really wanted to take the class on black holes, but it was full, and so I took the class on dinosaurs. Boo freaking who. So that's probably the worst experience I've had getting my classes, particularly as you start taking upper division courses for your major. There are going to be fewer people who need to take the history class on Baroque Germany that I'm currently taking. Like Andrew, who is a psychobiome major, would never have to take a class on 16th century Germany. So yeah, it's maybe getting the general education courses that a lot of people across the board from a bunch of different majors need in order to graduate. It might be a little bit more difficult to get into those classes, but there's always going to be a class available for you to take that will help you fulfill the requirement.
Awesome. And Brandon asked, how hard is it to find accommodations around UCLA, and are the dorms open to transfer students? So transfer students are guaranteed at least a year in the dorms if they choose. Another popular option for transfer students is to choose a university apartment. So they're going to be university-owned apartments that are right off campus in the middle of all the privately owned apartments. So definitely you'll be guaranteed either one or the other, whichever you so prefer. Privately owned apartments are definitely accessible too if you're a transfer. I know transfers that have done both.
Yeah.
It's definitely easy to find housing around UCLA.
Yeah, and just generally as a student, we have like a 4-by-6 block area of apartments that's maybe like a 10-minute walk from campus, and it's exclusively UCLA students. So I know when I walk out of my apartment and I see, somebody jogging, somebody, talking with their friends out on the street, like they're going to be a UCLA student. It's typically not like randos who live in LA, who live in this area. It's typically exclusively UCLA students.
And on the note of transferring, we got a question that asks, do you guys know anyone who has gone to community college first? How hard do you think it is to transfer? One of our good friends, Danielle, actually transferred from Saddleback Community College to UCLA last year. She's now a communications major and a Spanish minor. If you apply into UCLA as a transfer student, you'll select a specific major that you want to apply into, and the programs vary in difficulty based on that major. So communications is a really hard major to get into, business economics as well. You'll see online they list GPAs for those specific majors, so it'll be a lot more specific to which major you choose. But GPA is going to be more important for transfer admission than it is for freshman admission, where they're looking more at your extracurriculars and that whole package together. But definitely doable.
Yeah, oh my god, absolutely. The acceptance rate for transfer students is actually higher than the acceptance rate for incoming freshmen. So keep that in mind as well. Okay. What is the average GPA, and if you're involved with a lot of clubs, will it look better? Okay. So the average GPA weighted from coming from high school ranges in between a 4.3 and a 4.4. Unweighted is a 3.8 to 3.9. Once again, that's an average, so going to be some people who are below that. There are going to be some people who have a higher GPA than that. But Andrew has really been like stressing this word holistic, and our application process it goes under a holistic review. So while definitely your GPA and your test scores are important, we look at the entire package, so the whole person, and that includes clubs and extracurriculars. We want to see people who have been involved in their community, held leadership positions while they're in high school, so that once they come to UCLA, they can continue being involved, and even beyond UCLA, will be huge contributors to their communities and to the world.
Yeah, and keep in mind you do only have 5 spots in your extracurricular section, so kind of hone in on the things that you spent the most time on, that you're most passionate about, the things that you would really want to continue when you're here at UCLA. It's good to be involved in a lot of different things, but kind of hone in your passions. Some people apply in with like 30 different clubs, and they want to see that you're kind of focusing in on 5 certain things.
Yeah, and also you can spread it out amongst your application. For instance, I put down like my 5 extracurriculars I did in high school, but there was one that I was really particularly involved in, and so I wrote one of my personal statements about that and didn't include it on my extracurriculars. I didn't want to be redundant. Yeah, so
smart. Strategize.
It's using your head. Okay. Do.
Let's see what that one says.
Which one? That one? This one?
Alright, what sets you? We can answer what sets you.
Yeah, that one? Okay, cool. Sorry, we were just caucusing.
Lots of questions.
Yeah. Okay.
I like this.
So from Andy. Andy wants to know what sets UCLA apart from other UCs or colleges in general. Well, all the UCs definitely have different personalities, for sure. Different personalities, different stereotypes. But, I mean, all of them are fantastic institutions. I would say that UCLA has like a really laid back attitude. I think that's what sets it apart from the UCs, from some other UCs. Maybe not SB. SB's by the right by the beach, so that's very, very laid back. But UCLA, it's always sunny, it's always happy and bright, and people are relaxed, always having fun, always have a smile on their face, which really is what set it apart for me. When I visited some other colleges, I would walk around, particularly like at colleges on the East Coast, it would be like cold and like people would be frowning and look so sad, and like they'd be like, darn it, gotta go study mice or something in a lab, and just look so sad. But at UCLA, everyone's always happy and it's sunny and it's nice and it's fun. Just like even the nature of like the weather or location, the type of people who choose to come here, it's really what sets it apart.
And it's a perfect place to go to school because it's the perfect combination of people who are really, really, really smart, because everyone that gets in here is amazingly intelligent. But they're also, at the same time, know how to have fun.
Yeah, they're super social.
And some schools are like way too much fun, not enough studying. Some schools are all studying, no fun at all, and we're kind of the perfect.
We're perfect. What I say on my tours is that like you're gonna find the people here who were like prom queen and valedictorian. I mean, I was neither.
So you don't have to be prom queen.
You don't have to be prom queen, but you can find people who are really fun, but also like super smart as well.
Definitely true. Okay.
Let's look at.
Does the amount of people make it difficult to form friendships or meet people?
That's a good question, Rosia.
Yes, so we, our freshman class this year is about 5,700 students, which when you hear that sounds super, super intimidating. But we like to say it's very, very easy to make UCLA feel like a small school, but really hard for a small school to give you advantages that UCLA does provide. So once you start joining clubs, once you join, like, for example, Greek organizations, cultural organizations, even when you just live on your floor and are surrounded by 150 people, those are going to be the smaller pockets of communities that you'll start to form here at UCLA. And it definitely will be different from high school, where by the time you're a senior, you can kind of recognize everyone on campus, wave to a lot of people that you know. You'll see like 3 people that you know on your way to class, but that's kind of all you need.
I know, but that's really all you need, to feel like noticed and like a part of the campus. But that like takes time, as it will at any university. I was talking to one of my friends who just started her freshman year at a small liberal arts college. And it's like her first week, and she's worried about making friends, and there are like 1,000 people in the entire college.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, it'll happen for you just like it'll happen here at UCLA. Everyone here, like we keep saying, they're so social, so you're not really going to meet people who don't want to be your friend or don't want to talk to you. But definitely joining Greek life, or at least checking it out that happens like the first week of school before classes even start, is when you're able to rush a fraternity or sorority. And so right off the bat, you'll have a group of friends. But things like the Pediatric AIDS Coalition that Andrew and I are both involved in, very social. Being tour guides, extremely social. So social.
But the thing about UCLA is that there's so many people here that it's bound to be someone that you are gonna ultimately really mesh with. What I really liked that was very different from high school is that there's no drama here. If you find someone that you don't like, you move on to someone that
you don't have
like.
to see them, and you don't have to talk to them.
Yeah, there's just so many people here, though. No need to waste your time on worrying about other people.
That's very true. I never thought of it that way. That's really true.
But people are so nice.
No, people are.
Anyways.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. Okay.
So many questions. This is great.
I know. I love it. Okay. So a question that we just got is, what does UCLA look for in a student? Should a student be involved in clubs and student organizations outside of school? Yeah, definitely. There's an entire component of the application that is just for extracurriculars, where you can sort of brag about yourself and talk about all the things that you have leadership positions in and that you're involved in outside the classroom. It's very important. So.
Yeah. And if it doesn't have to necessarily be clubs that you're joining, or you don't have to be president of certain organizations. If research is your thing and you did all this volunteer work and are super passionate about certain research projects, that can be kind of the hook that you have with your application. It's different from every person.
Maybe you have to take care of a younger sibling or a parent or grandparent. Maybe you have a job, just anything you do outside the classroom. But do well in school, but also show that you have interests outside of school as well.
Yep.
Okay. Do that one. Sandra.
I think we're gonna do House.
Wait, can I answer it?
Yeah.
Okay, so from Alexis, we got a question. Is there any sorority or fraternity? Is there any sorority and fraternity life, and would you recommend participating? Oh, I thought I was asking if there's a specific sorority or frat that you should join. Yeah, we have.
Too early to think about that.
I know. I was like, wow, this person's like really on top of it. Like trying to get recommendations. Yeah, there's sorority and fraternities on campus, very present, very social driving force. We're 16% Greek, so if you want to be involved, that's several thousand people that can help make the community a lot smaller. But if you are interested in checking it out, you can do that. I would recommend checking it out. You don't have to join if you don't want to.
All right, so Yesenia has a question that says, I know that UCSB has a free tutoring program for intro classes called something, CLAS.
Really,
wow, she's done her research.
Yeah,
and UCLA has a program called LARC, but you have to pay for it. Does UCLA have a free tutoring program? We actually do.
Yeah.
There are usually peer tutors for all of your classes. They'll come up during the first lecture and announce that signups will begin on My UCLA, which is kind of your portal. And then you can sign up for those classes. We also do have something called AAP, which is the Academic Advancement Program. They offer peer learning sessions and a really great place to study, a lot of resources to help make sure that you get that tutoring that you need to succeed.
But also your professors are so available to you. In the first class, and in my case, recently this quarter, like all my professors keep saying, like in the past 3 classes, come to my office hours, please. Like if you miss class or if you need help, come to my office hours. So professors are required to hold specific office hours every week, where they basically just have an open door to their office, and students are encouraged to come in to either talk about the material that they went over in class, get a deeper understanding, or go over something they just didn't get, but also to just form a relationship with your professors, introduce yourself, make yourself known, and maybe like a class that has a couple hundred people in it, and that could really help you in getting a higher grade, for example. But also if you're interested in research, the professors do research outside of the courses that they teach. So if you're interested in being involved in research, you can be a research assistant just by going and talking to your professor and expressing interest in whatever it is that they're doing outside class.
Excellent. And then we also got a question that asks, what do you want to major in or are already majoring in? So I'm majoring in psychobiology. It's in the psych department, but also I take a lot of classes in the biology department. If I had to change my major, I just discovered that I really like econ-related classes. I might
Really?
do, yeah,
Hmm.
I might do like international development and take some econ classes with that because we have a really cool international development studies
You would
program.
Can you apply to ideas right now?
I'm a senior, so it's too late for
Yeah.
me to change. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
I
was
know.
starting over.
Okay, yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. I'm a history major. Wait, do you want to be pre-med? Are you pre-med?
I'm pre-health, so I'm applying to
Pre-health,
public health school, and
okay.
then hopefully we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, sorry, just curious on my part. But I am a history major, and so I've recently changed. I guess I changed at the beginning of my sophomore year, and I'm a third year now. But I'm most likely going to be applying to law school in the next year.
Oh,
Yeah,
how's that?
Elsa, yay. But if I had to change my major, I don't even know. I love history
There's
so
so
much.
many to choose
There
from.
are so many to choose from. I really like history though.
Yeah.
I would maybe I'd be comms fun
Comms
communications.
interesting. My roommate's comm.
Yeah, a lot of our friends are communications majors. It's a very competitive program. It's one of the few majors that you do have to apply to.
Yeah.
But there are 125 majors. You will find something you like. We promise.
Yeah, so that goes into the next question, which was what majors are there? We do have 125 majors and
Can't
80
list them
different
off
minors.
right now.
Yeah, you can go on our website. If you search up UCLA majors or UCLA minors, you can find all
Nice
of them.
list.
They just added an evolutionary medicine minor, which is
Oh, that's cool.
that's what I would take. I would take evolutionary medicine as the minor. They added a music industry minor last year. They've recently added biotechnology related majors and minors. So they're always updating to accommodate for new knowledge.
Yeah.
Ooh, the next question.
Let's do it. Let's answer it from Anam.
Yeah, good question. We get a lot actually from admitted students usually who are deciding. But what makes UCLA better than Cal Berkeley?
Heated. Okay. Well, I wouldn't say one is better than the other so much as they are very different. The school itself, like either way, you're going to be getting an amazing education if you go to either of them. What it really boils down to, I think, if you're going to be choosing between Berkeley or UCLA, is really, the type of person you are, and if you want to be in LA or if you want to be in Berkeley, or if you, like our campus better, if you like their campus better, if you want to be where it's sunny or if you want to be where it rains sometimes. So it's really not something you can objectively say one is better than the other. I will say our sports program is better just statistically because we have the most national championships out of any university in the entire country. We're at 109, and that's not just being better than Berkeley, that's just being better than everyone.
Yeah, one big distinction that I think you'll realize once you visit those schools is kind of the campus environment.
Yeah.
UCLA is very UCLA only. Like when you're around school, you're with all UCLA students, whereas Cal's a lot more integrated into the city. So I know I had friends who had to walk like 2 miles to their dorms, whereas our dorms are going to be right off campus, or like, right on campus, like right next to where the classes are. So UCLA is in kind of a little bubble where Cal is like more in the city of San Francisco.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of far from San Francisco.
Well, Berkeley, yeah.
Yeah, it's like
the area.
I mean, like Berkeley. I would say like Berkeley and Westwood are comparable in that like it's a very safe, like sheltered, like kind of college town almost in the surrounding area around the campus. The difference is that you have to like drive quite a bit to get into San Francisco if that's something you're interested in. But LA is just like right
everywhere.
It's like everywhere. Yeah, it's just everywhere. So I would say that's a difference as well.
Cool. And Kyle asks about the film major.
I can talk about that. Okay.
Oh, and the next question's about film.
Ooh, yay. Okay, film. Let's talk about film. I love film. So we recently, expanded our film major. So as opposed to the 2-year program that we had, for the past forever, this upcoming year we're accepting applications for freshmen who want to be a part of the film program. It is highly competitive. But it's super fun. Lots of students also, if they don't want to be a full-time film major, but they're still really interested in movies like I am, you can still take film classes in the School of Film. You can minor in film as well. But if you want to major in film, you can major in different disciplines: directing, screenwriting, film history, animation. And so in our School of Theater, Film, and Television, so it's not just the School of Film, it's also theater. As well. So what's cool about that is it's really collaborative. So often the theater students and the film students will work together as opposed to most schools where they're separate. So that's an opportunity to expand your network. But you'll take film history courses, you'll take screenwriting courses, editing classes. But what's cool, especially about when you graduate from the School of Film, is you make a senior film that's all your own as opposed to making one with a group. And then once you graduate and complete that film, you own the rights to your movie. So as opposed to the school owning it. So that's really cool, and it's a really great opportunity to use our amazing facilities and create something that's all your own.
Cool. We're almost running out of time, so we have a
Are
lot
we?
of questions. Yeah, we have only 10 minutes left.
Okay.
So we're going to
Sorry.
start scrolling through and kind of answering questions that are common to a lot of people. But we got a lot of questions about is there a pre-pharmacy or pre-medical major. There aren't any pre-professional majors here, so if you're a pre-law, you can take something like history. If you're pre-med, usually you'll major in something in the life sciences. But as long as you finish those prerequisites that you need to apply to those grad schools, you can definitely do so with any major. So I know a person who's applying who's an econ major, but she did all of the life science and chemistry classes, so she's applying to med school now. So there's no specific program. The only specific one we have is nursing, so if you want to be a nurse, that's the only health-related one.
Yeah, it's a separate school,
program.
though, from the School of Letters and Science, or the College of Letters and Sciences. You would apply to that as an incoming freshman and support your program. Oh, let's answer one about campus safety.
Okay.
Okay. Do you feel unsafe on the campus since you're located in Los Angeles? Okay. So Los Angeles, I feel like, I don't know, there's a common, I'm from LA, and so like I love the city so much. There are like, I mean, some areas that I guess you could characterize as unsafe, but they're like 45 minutes away from us. Like we're located in between Bel Air, Beverly Hills, and Brentwood, which are like the three wealthiest, nicest areas in the city and some of the nicest areas in the country as well. So not only are the surrounding areas wonderful, Westwood is beautiful, our campus itself is gorgeous, very clean, very safe. We also have our own police department on campus, UCPD, so University of California Police Department, and their LAPD officers who are just like patrolling around. And recently, as tour guides, we got a presentation from a UCPD officer, and he was like, you guys, please don't jaywalk because we're so bored. There's nothing of real substance or importance that's crime related happens here. We will give you a ticket for jaywalking. So, like, literally the worst thing that happens on our campus is jaywalking. And that comes from, like, a police officer.
Yeah, super safe.
Yeah, it's really safe. It's the most well-lit college campus in the country. I don't know who collected that data, but that
I don't know how they determined
I
that.
don't even know. Like they just stood under a bunch
But
of
we won it.
Crap. I just broke my phone.
Oh.
Okay.
Alma asks, approximately what is the annual tuition for an out-of-state student? We might be a little bit off on this, but I think it's around 33 to 34,000
For out of state?
for out-of-state, right? Maybe a little bit more.
It's more, I think. I think it's like 45.
No, that's total cost.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then for in-state, it's like of 13,000. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
you can look it up online.
that's just how much I
know. Let's see. Are there any college myths that you have busted in your college experience?
Woo! Wait, like the like general college myth, like the freshman 15.
Oh,
like that?
Yeah, like something like that.
Busted.
At least for us.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, as a girl, personally, I would say that, I mean, just like you're growing up, and so like obviously there are going to be changes, but like I played sports in high school, I stopped playing sports in college, but our campus is so hilly and you like walk a lot, you're not going to gain weight. Also, everyone on this campus is really invested in fitness. Everyone loves, working out together. Our gym on campus is probably the most social scene, like during the daytime. Like when I go, I for sure have to put on mascara because I'm guaranteed to run into at least like 3 different people that I know, regardless of whether or not I want to run into them. But that's like a college myth. What are there?
I can't think on the spot.
I can't think of like appropriate ones.
Yeah. I don't know. College is even better than all it's cracked up.
I would say that for sure. It's so much fun. I'm so excited. I love it.
Got a good question from Zachary about comparing high school classes to college classes and the difficulty level. if you're taking the rigor of courses that you need to get into UCLA, it won't be too hard of a transition. It's definitely
No.
a tough environment and a very different academic system because for science majors at least, there's not a lot of homework. I know it's a lot more based on papers and stuff.
Oh my god, I have so much reading
Yeah.
to do.
But for science majors, it's like your midterm and your final, and that's all of your
Yeah.
grades. So it's very different because you're gonna be studying a lot more on your own. There aren't like quizzes to make sure you're keeping up
Yeah.
throughout the quarter. So it's a big change because high school I went to class from like 7 in the morning to like 4.
Yeah, that's a huge
And
change.
college is like wake up at 11, go to class at 12, finish
Yeah.
by 2. So
Or like some quarters, I don't have class on Monday or Friday, so
5-day week.
four day weekend. But then yeah, so but like no one really gets in here who isn't meant to be here and who we don't think can handle the work. So that's like why our admissions process is so rigorous. Like if you get in, like you're gonna do it. You're all smart kids. It's gonna be okay.
I mean, but that being said, the caliber of students here is super high. So when you're competing for your A's, you're competing against everyone else who also got all A's in high school.
Sciences,
So-
because there's a curve.
Yeah.
There's like no curve.
But as long as you
whatsoever.
study hard, it's definitely not a cutthroat environment. I think that's a myth that it's super cutthroat
Yeah.
and you can't succeed. They're meant to fail. They want everyone to succeed. If everyone does well in the class, they'll reward you. It's not
Yeah.
where you'll ever get curved down or it's like people are out to get you. It's definitely a collaborative.
Yeah, or
learning
like if you
environment.
miss class one day and you say like Andrew and I are in the same class and I miss class. I'm like, hey Andrew, like I need notes from class the other day, I miss it.
I'll be like, for sure, Ari,
Yeah,
love to help
exactly.
you. We want to succeed together. We both want to be doctors. Not only I can be a doctor.
Oh
and
my
she
god,
can't.
LOL me being a doctor.
Yeah. If that was the case.
Yeah,
But yeah,
no.
it's definitely,
Yeah.
classes are definitely tough, but doable.
Okay, we have 5 minutes. Okay, how's selective is film program? Selective.
Would IB help you put you in front of others? IB is definitely beneficial because it's similar to AP, but again, it's based on your whole.
Demonstrates academic rigor, which is important in your transcript.
How far is the beach from UCLA?
Ooh,
It's
good
6
question.
miles to Santa Monica Beach.
You can
So-
run there if you so choose, or you can drive there. But there are lots of beaches all around, and people love going to the beach.
All right. Do you need SAT subject tests if you want to major in engineering? Good
Yes.
question.
2. Math 2 and science.
Yeah, it's not a written requirement, but it's kind of an unwritten requirement where everyone applies with
Yeah,
that anyways.
College of Letters and Sciences, so you do not need any subject tests.
And then question from Marco, do you work with the Common App? We don't. We use the UC application, which is the application for all of the University of California schools.
Are there many opportunities to work on campus? We are getting paid right now, currently.
Yes.
So
Can
yeah.
you believe it?
Yeah, so, seriously. Yeah, and like typically the work is super fun and you make like really good friends with the people that you work with. Like all my best friends work with me. So I would encourage you to get a good job on campus.
Okay. Danielle, recently visited UCLA. Hopefully you
good.
took a tour with one of us. Recently visited, and it's huge. Our bicycle and skateboards allowed on campus, definitely. There are a lot of stairs, so people will usually bike or skate to campus, and then when they're walking
Yeah.
in between their classes, they'll walk them up.
But we are actually the smallest UC campus in terms of physical size. So it might seem huge. I know I went to a high school that was like literally like 350 students. Girls, all girls, so that was fun. And so when I came to UCLA, it was definitely like a transition. But the campus itself, it probably takes you like I can get to all my classes in under 10 minutes, like going from class to class.
And then question, 3 minutes. Is
Wait,
the
I
major
would
you
answer-
pick on the application the major you must pick up? So the average UCLA freshman changes their major about 2.5 times, so they know that if you're applying into the College of Letters and Sciences, you're probably going to graduate as another major than what you applied in as. So it doesn't bear that much weight on your admission, and you can definitely change while you're
Yeah, Connor changes major 5 times.
Oh, already?
Yeah, he's
He's a third year, so he's
Yeah,
gotta
he's fine.
settle down.
Wait, have you guys
Okay.
had any annoying roommates? I thought that was such a funny question. Yeah, yeah.
I had one too.
I've had 2 roommates my freshman year and my sophomore year. But the good thing about college is that it teaches you how to work and live and be around other people. So it definitely helps you with your interpersonal skills, with problem solving.
Sorry. That's so sweet.
Oh wait, somebody just said we were awesome. Zachary,
Thanks,
stop. I mean, no, you can flatter me like that. But it's annoying roommates make for really great stories. I really wish that I
Very
could,
true.
like, it was appropriate for me to tell some of the stories that I have. But it's just, like, it's funny. Like, it's really funny. Um,
Let's see. What should
Yeah.
we end with?
oh, God,
We have 1 minute.
we do.
These are so academic.
I know.
These are a fun one. I guess we can just.
I guess.
Oh, so many questions. Another
Oh,
one.
yay! Oh, God.
Oh, we love compliments.
Oh.
We actually had people who formed the compliments club, and they would just hang out on Bruin Walk, which is our main walkway, and compliment everyone and say
Yeah.
nice things.
Or sometimes I'll take like a clothespin and clip like a little compliment on it, like you're awesome, like you have a great smile or something, and then they'll clip it onto you without you noticing. And so like I found like little like clips on me, and it like brightens my day. It's so great.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, we got our warning from our administrator that we have 1 minute left.
Okay,
So,
Thank you guys so much. We're just gonna like wrap it up. And do you want to?
yeah, if you have further questions, definitely contact our admissions office or contact the campus tours office. We're in there. Campus
please.
tours are in the office Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and we love to talk about UCLA.
Oh God, yes.
So,
also like come to our campus, please. Like I don't think that Google Images, Instagram, Facebook, Vine, I don't even know. I don't think it does it justice. Like you have to come here and just see how beautiful it is. Talk to students. I promise you, like if you guys are down with us, there are like 27,000 other us's.
but different.
but different. So yeah, thank you so much for participating. This is awesome that you guys are on top of things and you know, getting ready to gear up to apply to college. I hope you all consider UCLA, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. Bye guys.
Bye.
Later. Yes.